Hey friends, we have a new activity this week, and we tried this out for a couple of weeks in class, and I think it really helped. It really helped us remember our vocabulary words, and it helped us talk about our genre and our objectives a little bit more. So you will have a Google Doc here, and I'll tell you what we do in class and how it's a little bit different from e-learning in just a little bit. But at the top here, it says Story of the Week, Wolf Island. That will be the story that we will read, that you'll listen to on Tuesday, and that you will read and do your highlights and underlines for on Wednesday. Our genre for the week, as we already know, realistic fiction. Our objectives for the week. So these are what we are working on and what we will be able to do by the end of the week. It says, I can analyze illustrations in a realistic fiction text to better understand it. And I can synthesize information in a realistic fiction text to better understand it. So, those two objectives are actually going to come in on Wednesday. That's what we will be focusing on when we do our highlights and underlines. So, if you don't know what synthesizing information means yet, don't worry. We're going to talk about that more on Wednesday. Today, we are focusing on the realistic fiction part of it. We're making sure that we understand realistic fiction, and then we're also going to go over our vocabulary words that we'll see tomorrow. Okay, right here it says design your own vocabulary study guide. Draw a quick sketch that represents each word. This will help you remember what the word means. Now, I couldn't figure out how to draw a quick sketch in here. That's what we do in class. So I'm just going to change this to say instead of draw a quick sketch, I'm going to say a enter an image that represents each word. This will help you remember what the word means. Okay, so in class, this is on paper and we draw a picture, but you guys are going to get to insert an image using Google Docs here. So our first word here is depended. The definition is counted on or relied on. A sentence would be I depended on my parents to feed me when I was young. So I think that what I would use to help me remember this word is a picture of parents. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say insert image, and then I'm going to click on search the web here. And then I'm going to type in parents. Parents. Okay. And here's some pictures of some parents. I could say, I could click any of these pictures. I kind of like this one here. It reminds me that like a baby depends on their parents or a child depends on their parents. Okay. And you might have to resize your picture if it comes in too big, you can make it smaller. And it's okay if it kind of messes up the formatting of this worksheet. It's all right. Don't worry about it. I understand that it's hard to do. Okay, this word says population. The definition is the number of animals or people living in a place. And you are going to insert a picture, insert image, search the web for population. So I wouldn't just type in the word population because it might not come up with a good picture. You could try if you can't think of one, but um, I might type in maybe lots of people because that will help me remember that the word population means the number of animals or people living in a place. For example, the population of, say, Plainfield. The population of Plainfield is, I actually just looked it up. The population of Plainfield is, well, in 1994 at least, it was 15,703. Oh, and 19. Oh, I see. This chart is moving. So, ooh, it's a lot more now. In 2018, the population of Plainfield was 34,386 people. So that's how many people live in Plainfield. Okay. So I type in lots of people because that's going to help me remember the word population. I'm going to click on it and then I'm going to click insert, and it's going to insert that picture of lots of people. All right. This next one is balance. The definition is enough different plants and animals to keep a habitat healthy. So it's not talking about like a balance beam type of balance. It's talking about having enough plants and animals to keep a habitat healthy, because we know that animals eat the plants, and if there are not enough plants to feed the animals, then the animals would die, and if there is not enough rain, there's not enough plants for the animals to eat, etc. So that's what it's talking about. There has to be a good balance in a habitat. And it kind of makes me think of an animal habitat like, insert image, search the web, like a forest. It makes me think of a forest, and I think about how the balance between the trees and the animals. Maybe I'll type animals in a forest, and it'll come up with, yeah, like this one would be a good one. That kind of helps me remember that it means like enough plants and animals to keep a habitat healthy. Okay, this word available means ready to use. Okay, so I think if something is ready to use, it kind of reminds me of having like a check mark, ready to use. So I'm going to say insert image, search the web, and I'm going to say check mark. Let's see. And I'm just going to put in a big old check mark because that's going to help me remember what that word means. Okay, this one, well being. The definition is health and comfort. So it makes me kind of think of like, insert image, search the web. Like if I am eating healthy food, oops, insert image, search the web, accidentally exited out. If I am eating healthy food, I am taking care of my well being. So I'm going to type in healthy food. Let's see what pops up here. Here we go. This kind of reminds me of the word, oops, I put it in the wrong place. I can move it. That's okay. This kind of reminds me of well being because it is reminding me that well being is about health, and this is healthy food. And if I eat healthy food, I feel comfortable and my tummy doesn't hurt. And that helps me remember that word. Okay, so that's what you're going to do for that part. And then there's just one little question down here, which we've actually already talked about. As you can see, we have our realistic fiction anchor chart, so you can use it to answer this question. It says, what are some differences between realistic fiction text and informational text? And what I want you to do is use a complete sentence when you answer this. And I want you to say maybe some similarities between realistic fiction and informational text. Oops. Are, and then you would type in what you think maybe they both are have to do with realistic things, or they are both not made up, or they're both not, well, realistic fiction is made up, but they are not something that um, would be that could not happen in real life or anything like that, whatever you are thinking. And then I want you to type some differences between realistic fiction and informational text are, and then I want you to type in some differences between the two. And we've kind of talked about that already, so I will leave that to you. You can use this anchor chart that will show you what realistic fiction is, and then you will think about realistic fiction and informational text. And remember that informational text is nonfiction, so it's true, real things, and usually it's facts about things that, and the author writes the author writes informational text to teach you about something that you want to learn about. All right, friends. So I hope this is fun. By the way, this anchor chart, it can also be found in your book on page 309. Alrighty, have fun inserting your pictures and answering your questions. I'm going to go ahead and stop right there and let you get going.